Before we do anything else today, we are going to run a very quick test together. It will take less than 30 seconds, and by the time you finish it, you will have a surprisingly clear picture of how well blood is circulating through your legs right now. No equipment, no standing up, just 5 honest answers. Start with a perfect score of 5 points. I will describe 5 common signs your body sends when circulation in the legs begins to slow down. For each one that applies to you, subtract 1 point. Be completely honest with yourself. This test only works if the answers are real. Ready? Let's begin. Number 1. Do your feet often feel cold, even when the room around you is warm? Maybe the rest of your body feels comfortable, but your toes stay chilly, especially in the evening or when you sit for a while. If that sounds familiar, subtract 1 point. Cold feet are often one of the earliest signals that blood is having trouble completing its full journey all the way down to the smallest vessels in your toes. Number 2. Do your legs feel heavy or unusually tired at the end of a normal day? Not after a long hike or intense workout, just after regular sitting, standing, or moving around the house. If that heaviness creeps in by late afternoon, subtract 1 point. That sensation often happens when blood and fluid begin to pool in the lower legs instead of circulating smoothly back toward the heart. Number 3. Do you notice swelling around your ankles by evening? Maybe your socks leave deeper marks than they used to. Maybe your shoes feel tighter at night than they did in the morning. If you see that kind of swelling, subtract 1 point. Swelling is one of the clearest signals that circulation in the lower legs has slowed down. Number 4. Do you experience leg cramps, especially at night? Those sudden, painful muscle contractions in the calves that can wake you from sleep. If that happens to you, subtract 1 point. Muscles cramp when they are not receiving enough oxygen, and oxygen travels through your bloodstream. Number 5. Have you noticed spider veins or bulging veins appearing on your legs over the past few years? Veins that were not there before, slowly becoming more visible beneath the skin. If yes, subtract your final point. Now pause for a moment and look at your score. If you still have 5 points, your circulation is strong right now. What you will learn today will help keep it that way for many years. If you scored 3 or 4, your body may already be sending early warning signals. This is the perfect moment to act before the problem grows. And if your score is 2 or lower, pay very close attention today, but do not feel discouraged. In fact, this is exactly where the biggest improvements can happen. Take a moment and remember your number. Some people even like to write it down, because what I am about to show you can start changing that number surprisingly fast. Today you are going to learn 3 simple movements that act like powerful pumps for the circulation in your legs. You can do them sitting in a chair, at the kitchen table, or while watching television. No equipment, no standing, just a few minutes of focused movement that wakes up the hidden circulatory system in your lower body. Before we begin those movements, it helps to understand something fascinating about how your body moves blood through your legs. Your heart pushes blood downward into the legs quite easily. Gravity actually helps that process. The difficult part is getting that blood back up again. Inside the veins of your legs are tiny one-way valves. Their job is to keep blood from sliding backward as it travels upward toward the heart. But as we age, those valves can weaken. When that happens, blood begins to move more slowly. It can collect in the lower legs. That is when swelling appears. That heaviness develops. Veins stretch and become visible, and circulation slowly declines. Here is the key detail most people are never told. The primary force that pushes blood upward through those veins is not the heart, it is your muscles. Every time the muscles in your legs contract, they squeeze the veins around them like a pump. That pressure pushes blood upward, past the tiny valves, and back toward your heart. When your legs are moving, circulation flows beautifully. But when you sit still for long periods, that pump shuts down, blood flow slows, the veins become stagnant. Over time, this creates the exact environment where many circulatory problems begin. The 3 movements you are about to learn reactivate that pump. They wake up the muscles that control blood flow in your lower body and restore the rhythm your circulation was designed to follow. Let us begin with the first movement. Sit comfortably in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Keep your back upright but relaxed. Now slowly lift your right knee a few inches off the floor. Not high, just enough to feel the muscles in the front of your thigh tighten. Lower the foot back down gently, then lift the left knee. Lower it again. Continue alternating like this, lifting one knee at a time in a slow, steady rhythm. This movement is called the seated march. It may look simple, but inside your legs something powerful is happening. Every time you lift your knee, the large muscles in your thighs contract. Those muscles squeeze the deep veins that run through your legs. With each squeeze, blood is pushed upward toward your heart. Move slowly, about 1 lift per second is perfect. Do not rush, let each lift feel deliberate. When the foot returns to the floor, place it down quietly. If your foot is slapping the floor, slow down slightly. The controlled lowering is just as important as the lift itself. Continue this gentle marching movement for about 90 seconds. As you do, you may begin to feel a subtle warmth spreading through your thighs and knees. That warmth is fresh oxygen-rich blood flowing through the muscles again. A surprising study once measured blood flow in the large vein behind the knee during prolonged sitting. After only 30 minutes of sitting still, blood flow velocity dropped noticeably. After 1 hour, it had slowed by more than 50%, half the normal speed. Think about that for a moment. If you sit for an hour without moving your legs, circulation in your lower body can slow dramatically. But here is the encouraging part. The same research showed that activating the leg muscles for just a short period could restore circulation almost immediately. And that is exactly what the next movement does. Extend your right leg slowly in front of you until your knee is almost straight. Keep your heel hovering just above the floor. Now point your toes away from your body as far as you comfortably can. Feel the muscles in your calf tighten. Hold that position for 2 seconds. Then pull your toes back toward your shin. Feel the calf muscle stretch and release. Hold again for 2 seconds. Slowly lower the leg back down. Now repeat the same sequence with your left leg. Extend the leg forward. Point the toes. Hold. Flex the toes back toward the shin. Hold. Lower the foot again. This movement activates both the thigh muscles and the powerful calf muscles in a single smooth motion. When your calf contracts, it compresses the deep veins running through the lower leg. Cardiologists often call the calf muscle the body's second heart because of the enormous role it plays in pumping blood upward through the legs. Continue alternating legs like this for 10 repetitions on each side. Move slowly and deliberately. Each extension, each toe point, each flex acts like a pump pushing circulation through the entire length of your leg. By the time you finish the 10th repetition on each side, many people feel a gentle warmth moving from the ankles upward through the calves. Some even notice the slight buzzing sensation of improved circulation returning to areas that had been quiet for hours. Now we arrive at the third movement, the one that activates the most powerful circulation pump in your lower body. Place both feet flat on the floor again. Keep the balls of your feet firmly on the ground. Now slowly raise your heels as high as you can, lifting them off the floor so you are balanced on the front of your feet. Squeeze the muscles in your calves firmly at the top of the movement. Hold for 1 second. Then slowly lower your heels back down to the floor. Lift again. Squeeze the calves. Lower slowly. Continue this motion in a steady rhythm. Up, squeeze, down, up, squeeze, down. With each contraction of the calf muscles, the deep veins inside your legs are compressed like a pump. Blood that had been resting in the lower legs is pushed upward toward the heart. When the heels lower again, the veins refill with fresh blood from below. After about 30 seconds you may feel your calf muscles begin to burn slightly. That sensation is simply the muscles working hard enough to create real change. Continue the movement for 2 full minutes if you can. If the muscles become tired, pause briefly and then resume. These heel raises are one of the simplest and most effective ways to restore circulation in the legs. In fact, they mimic the same pumping action that happens naturally every time you walk. Within a few days of practicing these 3 movements regularly, many people notice small but encouraging changes. Legs that once felt heavy by evening begin to feel lighter. Ankles swell less. Night cramps become less frequent. Even the persistent chill in the toes often begins to fade as blood flow improves. But movement is only one piece of the picture. There are also a few surprisingly simple habits that can either support or sabotage circulation in your legs. One of the most overlooked factors is hydration. When the body becomes even mildly dehydrated, the blood thickens slightly. Thicker blood flows more slowly through small vessels, especially in the lower legs where gravity already works against circulation. Drinking a full glass of water early in the morning, before coffee or tea, helps thin the blood naturally and allows circulation to move more easily throughout the day. Another factor involves the way many people sit. Crossing one leg over the other may feel comfortable, but it compresses the major vein behind the knee of the lower leg. When that vein is compressed, blood returning from the lower leg must struggle to find another path upward. Sitting with both feet flat on the floor keeps that pathway open and allows circulation to flow normally. Even sleep position can influence circulation. When sleeping on your side, placing a small pillow between the knees prevents the upper leg from pressing down on the veins of the lower leg. That simple change can keep blood flowing more freely through the night. And finally, one of the most powerful natural helpers for circulation is movement itself. Not long workouts, just frequent small movements throughout the day. Even a few seconds of calf contractions every half hour can dramatically improve blood flow in the legs. Think of your calf muscles as a second heart quietly waiting to be used. Every time they contract, they send blood moving upward through your veins. Every time they stay still for long periods, that pump pauses. Your legs have carried you through thousands of steps over the course of your life. They have taken you to work, through your home, through every journey and memory that mattered. Giving them a few minutes of movement each day is one of the simplest ways to return the favor. So remember the test you took at the beginning. That number you calculated was not a judgment. It was simply a starting point. With a few minutes of movement each day and a few small changes in daily habits, circulation in your legs can begin to improve in ways you may actually feel. Warmer feet, lighter legs, calmer nights without cramps. All signs that the quiet pump inside your legs has come back to life.